excited to have a beautiful Kylie Tolson on today, and I get to interview her about her journey so far in this beautiful space. And I'm just going to grab her on. So I'm very, very excited. I'm so excited because she has an incredible journey. Oh, hello, hello. How beautiful has this weather been the last week? So we'll just try and get our guest speaker on. So I hope that you guys had a beautiful weekend. Oh, okay. Okay. Hopefully that's worked. Invite. Alrighty. So, happy Monday morning. I hope you guys have had a great morning routine. I know for me, I always get up and have a lovely hot chocolate. And we are inviting you. So just request down the bottom. There should be like a little flag that you'll just need to accept. Yep. Kylie, hopefully. So, yep, just accept. Oh my gosh. Hopefully it's working. Good morning. Oh, I've got your request. Yes, awesome. Accepting. Yes, perfect. Good morning, Jen. How are you, my love? Thanks for watching. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Oh,
We did it.
thank you so much for joining me. So excited to have you. It is a little bit fiddling when you haven't done it before, but
Yeah.
it is a pretty easy process once you get to know how to do Instagram Live. So how are you this
I'm
morning?
great. How are you? Thanks
I'm
for
good.
having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's an absolute honor to have you on. So, for those that are watching, my name is Tash, and I am Tash, the pineapple teacher. I'm located in Lake Macquarie, 45 minutes south of Newcastle in Sydney, and I am a mother, a teacher, and an entrepreneur in this online space. Hoping making an impact in other women's lives. And so we have the beautiful Kylie on today, who has had an incredible impact that goes beyond words can even speak. So I can't take, I would love her to share that. And she's had an incredible journey. And I'm going to get her to maybe introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us about you, because there's nothing better than introducing yourself.
Thanks, Tash. Thanks for having me. So here, beautiful, absolutely beautiful morning. Tell me about myself. Well, I tell you, I'm in my 50s, but when I found this business, which was nearly 5 years ago now, I was, yeah, so I was 49. I was burnt out. I was exhausted. I was working all the time. I had been working for my family stock feed business for over 30 years. And I'm a horsey person, so I've got horses at home, we've got cows, we've got 80 acres. And my husband and I were running a free range pig farm as well. So everything was happening. It was
Wow.
full on.
So busy.
It was like I'd get up in the morning, first thing is just feed everything, deal with whatever's been going on at night because
Yeah.
with so many different kinds of animals, there's always something. And, and then I would go to work and then come home, do it all again. And then, later on, it'd just be flop on the couch and just veg out on Netflix or something. So that was my regular day. And my husband, he works out at the mine. So he worked 7 on, 7 off, so he was only here half the time as well. So I only had his help half the time, and it was exhausting. I'd been in my 9 to 5 job for so many years, like I said, and that was beginning to. I was beginning to get, to at that point where I needed something else. I was actually, I loved my job, but I got to the point where I actually was getting didn't want to serve the customers. Like I'd kind of fob them off onto my sister. It was a family business. So it'd be like, I'd be the one that they always used to come to for advice, and then I'd be like, "Oh, you should talk to my sister," because I was just like, "Oh, I don't know, I can't do this." So I was, yeah, feeling just had enough, but I didn't have any solutions to changing anything. My husband and I had started the pig farm in the hopes that we could build something that would actually be able to create some sort of way for one of us to leave our jobs, and maybe later on, if it was more successful, that both of us could, or we could just do something part-time and actually be home, actually be on this beautiful property. And my biggest desire was to be able to work from home and actually be able to ride my horses, because all I was doing all
Yeah.
the time was just watching them get older. And
Yeah.
even on the weekends, I couldn't do anything because we had a farm.
Yeah.
So there are no weekends. It's just constant. Yeah. So that's what my life was about. I've got 3 kids. They all live in Brisbane. I couldn't even really go visit them because they were, it was just too hard to get away.
Yeah.
Couldn't get away. It was difficult to leave that kind of responsibility in other people's hands. So that was me. I was just burned out, 49-year-old thinking, I'm going to be stuck here, like my dad, who was supposed to be retired and couldn't retire in his 70s, and just my body just breaking down from the kind of labor that we do there. So yeah, that was me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I can resonate with that. My family are actually generation farmers. So,
Yeah, yeah,
it is, you are up at dawn, up at sunrise,
yeah,
to bed at when the sun, past the sun
yeah,
going down, you're eating, and then you're like, oh my gosh, do it all over again.
yes.
And, it's 7 days a week. It's no different, right? And so I can
No,
completely resonate with that. And it is hard to also change out of that mindset. Like, you're used
yes.
to physical work,
Mm-hmm.
you know, thinking that you really have to be so physical to create the results, because in the farm life too, you've got to do the work first and then you
Yes,
get paid later, right?
exactly.
So, yeah, absolutely. So you kind of talked a little bit about your life before the business and
Mm-hmm.
coming into this journey. Is there anything that you wanted to add?
It was. I mean, my whole life had been, most of my life obviously had been working at a stock feed shop. Before that, I tried other businesses as well. Like I'd done things like Tupperware, I'd done a few party plan. We tried other things.
Yeah.
I used to have a horse stud. So I had done a lot of businesses or different types of business models looking for some sort of time freedom. I'd always wanted to just be home and have some kind of quality time with horses. And, I always wanted to travel, but that was so off my radar, it wasn't even funny. So, yeah, that's what life looked like for me. I didn't think that I actually was, I didn't really have any higher education other than I'd actually done 3 years as a graphic artist. So, but with that kind of industry, if you don't stay with the times, you can just forget it. Like you're so far behind, there's no way you can just jump into that kind of industry. And of course, people know what it's like to be an artist. So
Yeah.
if you're just a fine artist, you could be a starving fine artist. Doesn't matter
Yes.
how good you are sometimes.
Yes.
So I didn't think I really had solutions or any skills to take me elsewhere. So that's why I was feeling like I didn't have solutions.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so you kind of also spoke about your real pivotal line in the sand moment. Is there also anything that you wanted to add there?
Yeah. So I actually had so many line in the sand moments, to be
Yes.
honest.
Yeah.
It had been happening over a period of years,
Yeah.
but because I didn't know there was something else I could do, I'd never heard of affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it. So yeah, that's why I had all these line in the sand moments, but I still felt stuck,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, how did you find this business 5 years ago?
Well, I actually had a couple of friends doing the business,
Yeah.
and but I didn't know what they were doing. I just saw them, scrolling on Facebook. Like I said, when I'd come home and flop on the couch, it'd either just be Netflix or
Yes.
scrolling. Like I
Yes.
wasn't really an active Facebook user other than that. Two of my friends had gotten me on Facebook. I didn't even want to go there because I was like, I don't have time for this,
Yes.
I
Yes.
because I thought if I fall into scroll holes, which inevitably did happen, that that I was just it was just a waste of my time because I didn't have any time. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I actually had a couple friends. One I knew personally, she'd been my horsemanship instructor, Carmen, and
Yes.
um,
I
and
can
also
see you coming.
and also one of my other friends who I knew online because I'd purchased horsemanship products through her other online business. They were doing the business, and I just got curious because I was like, what the heck are they doing? They're doing something different. They're not doing their usual thing. And they both seem to be like they seem to be happier. They seem to be doing more of the things that they really loved doing, and they seem to be making some money. So I was like, what is this? They're pussy women.
Yeah.
Maybe, it piqued my curiosity as to whether it was something that I could do. I'm a horsey woman, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Ah, I love that. So obviously you've been in the business for 5 years now, which yes, celebrating you, incredible. Absolutely so inspiring for me. Changes and impact. Like what's the most significant changes and impact? Or there is one significant change and impact or whatever you'd like to talk about, that's been since you've been in this business.
Yeah. So much has changed for me. First of all, I was able to leave the family business, so that was massive. You can imagine after
Yeah.
30 plus years,
Yes.
it's hard to leave a family business as well. It's not just,
Absolutely.
leaving a job. So I was able to do that. So now I do get to finally work from home. I do this incredible business which you can do in a few hours of your day, and then you get to go out and ride. Like I do my work in the morning, and then I go out and ride in the afternoon. So that has completely changed my
Amazing.
life. I've been
Yeah.
able to travel already, and I've got more adventures planned. So I've taken my family to the Bahamas for 5 weeks. That's where I was born, and I'd never been able to take my family overseas because I just couldn't afford it before. So all my kids are adults, so we all went over there 5 weeks, had the best time. It was so much fun, and it's just been absolutely incredible. Stayed at Airbnbs that we probably wouldn't have been able to stay at prior to being out earning the kind of money we do in this industry.
Absolutely.
So that I've built my arena that I'm out riding in now, which I
Amazing.
waited 15 years to build that. And but really also the personal development side has changed me. Well, we stay the same. We just go into a better version of ourselves. I guess.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I hadn't had any personal development before, and before this business, and we basically just get it as a side. It's part of it.
It
So
is. Yeah.
obviously got stuck into it. We as we say here, success in this business is 80% mindset and only 20% strategy because the business
Yes.
itself is so simple,
Yes.
but it's having keeping your mind, keeping your mindset, your confidence, and your belief that you can continue to keep growing it and keep breaking those glass ceilings that we inevitably create for ourselves because it's only ourselves that hold ourselves back. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that has been amazing for me. Realizing that there is a leader inside of me, that I can lead myself forward first, to be able to support other women to do exactly what I'm doing and to create some type of financial freedom or time freedom for themselves. Seeing other women do that and supporting them to do that is pretty special. Like, it's one thing to find
Absolutely.
success for yourself, but then to actually support other women to do it, there is no better feeling than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And it
but
it
yeah, go on.
oh so and it's just like the I don't know, the ticket to like everything else
Yeah,
that's coming, right? Like it's just that dollop cream on the side of the
yeah,
chocolate cake. Like
I
it's
love
just
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah.
um
Yeah, so yeah, that was amazing, and yeah, so to find the leader in me, that was pretty special because, like I said, how I said, I tried so many businesses,
Yeah,
even if you do really well at something, but then it doesn't inevitably create what you want it to create. Often, you don't quit because you were bad at something, or sometimes you just quit because it doesn't work. Like you don't make any money. It's
yeah,
not it's not working for your life. You don't have the time freedom, just like the farm and that sort of thing. So, but you generally tend to consider yourself a failure in here, whether you are or not, so that weighs heavily on your mind. And I came into this thinking like, oh, I'm a bit of a failure with businesses. I don't know if I can make this happen. I've quit so many other things. Meanwhile, I did them for so many years and I'm still calling myself a quitter, but that's what we do to ourselves, isn't it? But
absolutely.
so
And
I came, yeah, in with that mindset, and that I had to get over. So yeah.
but also like coming out of that employee mindset to going into a CEO, and
Mm,
having to um create your own set of rules on
yes.
yourself and be self-led, right? Like
Yeah, for
we
sure. I mean, I'll be real, I'm still struggling with that
yeah,
because, after 30 years of, although I was still doing things at home, you still kind of wait for someone to tell you to do something in some ways or show you the way or whatever. It's still hard to schedule myself when I have time freedom.
yes.
So, like, I haven't had that before. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, this is very true. It's also like just embracing this like freedom thing, but also being like, okay, I need to knuckle down here
Yeah.
too. Which kind of leads me to my, next question. What's some of the challenges that you faced in the 5 years of being on this online space and in making such an impact that you have made? Like, yeah, incredible.
Oh, so many, like the whole mindset piece, like I said, if we didn't have all the personal development here, like I'll put my hand up to say, if it wasn't for the community in this business that we have, if it wasn't for the mentorship that we have, I would not be where I am today. I would
Yeah.
not be there because it was that constant support that kept me going. Because we all have times where, either it feels like it's not working. It feels like nothing's happening.
Yes.
In actuality, in this business, everything you do is compounding and working, and it all comes together eventually. But for a while, sometimes it feels like it isn't. So, to be able to keep going when that's happening, and a lot, other people have doubts, like my oldest son was one of my biggest skeptics, and there was times where I was like, oh, this. He made me feel like I was, you know, some kind of, fraud or whatever, and that was really hard to get
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
So being able to see other people succeeding constantly, that helps a lot. And
Absolutely.
yeah, there's just so many. The whole, like what I've previously said, the doubts and the fears about whether I can do it, the belief, the confidence. I'm an introvert. I wouldn't have been doing what I'm doing now, like getting on and doing an interview, doing all those kind of things. No, that was not
Yeah.
me at all.
Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, and it happens at such a fast pace too, like all of this growth, because you just start going, okay, I just got to keep getting uncomfortable. Like you get almost addicted to that uncomfortable feeling. You're like, that's how I'm growing.
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
Yes, yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
that
funny.
kind
Like
of
previously, you would be, before this life, that's not what I was chasing,
yeah,
not at all. Like the comfort
yes.
zone for me, baby, that's where I was at. I've been, I've been there for so many years. But, thank God it's that realization when you come into this that that is what kept you stuck. That's what stopped you
Literally.
from doing all the things. So, yeah, when you finally
Absolutely.
yeah, when
But
that really, really dawns on you, that's when you get to move forward and
but
feel good about it.
absolutely. And you know what, also, it's so funny because you look at your own careers, like past coming into this space, right? And we always fail forward in our own careers. Like we always got out of
Yes.
uncomfortable
Yes.
because we obviously, like for me, like I wanted to be a teacher, right? But you actually just have to apply the same thing to just your dream, not like just being a teacher or just being, you know,
Yeah.
in your industry. Like that's the thing. Like we
Yeah.
already know this. It's already learnt
Yep.
behaviors.
So true. So true.
Um, so that kind of leads to like another question: is your proudest moment? Like so far, what would you be, or your proudest moments, or sorry, your proudest achievement or proudest achievements,
Mhm.
being in this space for 5 years now? Like I'm sure
Well,
you've got.
I've achieved some leadership levels in this space that, when I got there, I it was so hard to believe I was there that I actually had like this imposter syndrome that I actually had to get over. It's like, how did I get here? Like it's because it's like you say, it's such a it can be a gradual progression over 5 years, and
Yes.
you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
So, you know, achieving those levels, seeing myself as a leader, that's a big one. But also, seeing other team members come up through those leadership levels as well. That's one of my, obviously that is their work as well, but being able to support them through that was a huge achievement for me to see that I can
Yeah.
support women to do exactly what I'm doing. Duplicating it is another thing altogether. Doing it yourself, but
Absolutely.
seeing it duplicate. Okay, it was that too early in the morning for that word, but yeah, seeing it. I'm not gonna try, but yeah, that was
Duplication.
pretty special.
And
Yeah.
this routine
Um,
has to help you. Duplication.
That's the one. Thank you. Thank you. See this coffee needs to go down. So yeah, and the other thing is, getting allowing the adventurous side of myself to come out, because I always wanted to go on these horseback adventures, global horseback adventures across the world and ride horses in different beautiful countries. And I've booked my first one now. So I'm in March. I'll be
Amazing.
going to New Zealand for a 5-day ride through the beautiful, landscape you see in the Lord of the Rings movies. That's where I'm
Yes.
going. But that's just the beginning. I'm going to be
Wow.
going. My plan is to go to a different country every year, but there's something massive coming up in 2026 that I'm actually thinking about challenging myself to do, and it's pretty big, like pretty scary big. So yeah, we'll see.
Oh my gosh, celebrating you. That's so amazing. I love that. And I love that my big motto for like all my team members or just my life is that you've got these goals, but
Hmm.
let's not stay there. Let's go a little
Yeah,
delusional and decide to go up here.
exactly.
And so I'm like, I love that. I'm like, you're on fire, girl. You're amazing. I love that. And that also, I guess, leads to my second last question is, what are you most excited about in the future? Like, obviously, you've got all these big plans, but, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Oh, just to continue going in the direction that I'm going and, to keep hitting leadership levels, to keep hitting, those glass ceilings of financial levels as well, because I guess that's another thing that I left out, to be earning the kind of money that I've never ever earned,
Yes.
never could have earned in what I was
Yes.
doing before, a month, a year, or whatever. Like that is incredible. But to keep hitting those and keep going higher, because part of my why as well now is to retire my husband from his job.
Yes.
So now, to keep earning enough that he doesn't even need to work as well.
Yeah.
And, we go on our different adventures and all the things. So yeah, those are the next big goals.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Celebrating you. And we are so similar. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but my love language is acts of service. And I feel like you're very much maybe like that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I love to, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and I also have the goal of retiring my partner from the mine. So,
Yeah,
yeah, incredible. I love that. And it's such a fierce thing because it's not about you, it's about them
yeah,
and what you
yeah.
can provide. So, yeah, beautiful. This leads to my last question, which is my actually ultimate favorite question. And I say this every time. If you've watched maybe a couple of my lives, or for anyone that is watching right now, hashtag replay if you are watching the replay on this. But, you know, if you could offer yourself a piece of advice 5 years ago about to jump in this business, or someone that's watching right now or watching the replay and sitting on the fence, or wanting to reach out to yourself or to me about what this business is and how life-changing it is, like, what is that piece of advice that you would offer them?
Well, first of all, knowing what I know now, 5 years ago, I would have said, don't hesitate. Like I took 3 months to kind of make the decision to get my investment in gear, like just the whole thing. I was just like, procrastinating because I wasn't sure. And I know women who have done that for 3 years and then they've jumped in. Like I have women that have jumped in and joined me, and we were connected for 3 years before that.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
they were like, I cannot believe I waited so long. Imagine where I could be if I'd been doing this for those 3 years. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know,
Powerful.
it's like the amount of growth I had in 3 years, if they were doing the same thing, their whole life would be changed. Like my whole
Yeah.
life changed in 3.5 years. So um, y all you're doing is delaying the inevitable, because this is the golden goose,
Yes.
basically. There is
That's the
there is
golden ticket.
nothing like it.
Yes.
And the other
Yeah.
side of it too, I always like to say to people, if you are fearful or doubtful or whatever, the best way to get over that is to get more information. So, like, if
Absolutely.
you're not sure, reach out to Tash and ask her more. Ask more questions.
We've
Watch
got
a webinar. Hey,
another
cutie.
special guest.
Yeah. And that's what you're here for, hey. You know, that's what
Absolutely.
we're here for. And and that's one of the things I loved about this business myself, being able to prove to my kids the things that I'd been telling them for years, but I hadn't done it myself. don't you don't have to stay in that box of working for other people and working and doing things you don't enjoy just because you feel like you have to make money. That's one of my proudest achievements, to be able to say to my kids, you can do whatever you want, and then show them.
Yes. Thank you.
So
You couldn't have said it better as a mother. And yeah,
yep,
can you stop?
yep.
He loves the camera, by the way.
Oh, not at all. I don't believe that.
Thank you so much for sharing all these golden nuggets and all this amazing wisdom and your journey. Excuse me. Because
You're welcome.
honestly, like,
It's been a
you're an
pleasure.
absolute inspiration. The impact you've made is like global. And I aspire to be just like you. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing also your tough times, because I know that's vulnerable, to talk about those things. And again, like, if there's anything else you wanted to add to our live today, or for anyone that's watching, like, you're more than welcome. But we might hop off. And yeah, thank you so much again.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Stop. Okay. Lots of love. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for having
Okay,
coming on,
bye.
and see ya. Bye. Stop it, Freddie.